everybody? Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. We got a lot of hot topics to talk about today. Let me bring in my man, known as Talent, one of the Def Comedy Jam alums, in the building. What's up, T? How you doing, sir?
I'm here, baby. I'm here with what bells and whistles. I got everything.
That's good to hear. Also, my man Fig, another Def Comedy Jam alum. What's up, man? How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
So I guess
I think he's good, Frank. He's shooting.
Yeah, I guess so. But instead of just saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm doing okay. I got to get to shoot.
You know how good you got to feel though to get to shoot. You feel good.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. We a little extra.
He wanna shoot, baby. See that?
All right, man, that's me getting my understanding of how it all going down. Like, I got it. All right, so looks like it's gonna be just us three again today. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. The first thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it this morning, but President Biden is meeting with the family of Brittany Griner to let them know that he is working everything he can do to try to get Brittany Griner's release. And T, I'm not sure if this is just a politics thing. You tell me what you think about President Biden meeting with Brittany Griner's family. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is, where's Dennis Rodman? That's first thing. First thing comes to my mind. Grand opening, grand closing. See, you can tell when people make statements with a drink in their hand. I'm going over there to talk to them, get her out. Fast forward the next 2 weeks, a cup of coffee, like, I said, what? I ain't going to Russia. Shit. So, now we got somebody else volunteering to go over there. This has become the soap opera, the number one emotional roller coaster in sports this year, hands down. Because Frank, I'll be honest with you, I done been through every emotion possible with this situation. I done went from thinking it's not a big deal to not caring to Karen to, hey, wait a minute, this might be a big deal to, hey, it ain't right, to what is the president doing? To Dennis Rodman said, what? I went through all these emotions. And now here we are. It's seemingly like we did a full 360 and back at the beginning where somebody's coming out saying, you know what? We need to release her. I'm going to go over there and talk to so-and-so, try to get this thing going. Because every month, it seems to be a new player or two in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody from the VP to the president to, man, just do what they want. They just want Rocky to fight Drago one more time.
To release Clubber Lang.
Brittany Griner has been in prison for 216 days. Fig, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Listen, I agree with everything that Talent said. It's just I got a different take on it, man. The reason that Biden is meeting with the family of Brittany Griner is because I don't think you guys really remember. Biden was in the White House for 8 years with the Obamas. Not only was it Barack and Michelle's mother was there. So he got an ample dose of soul food. And since the Obamas left, there's been no soul food in the White House. So he's going over to the Griner family residence so he can get some real potato salad, some collard greens, and some fried chicken that is made by a black family who is actually qualified to make some soul food. That's the only reason he's going over there, because you don't need to go meet with the family to talk to your man over there in Russia. What's his name? Gorbachev, whatever his name is. You don't have to talk to her family to tell them that you're trying to get her out. You could have did that in a press conference.
You about to upset a lot of people. My man Rodney Perry is joining the show too. Rodney Perry, how you doing, sir? How's everything, bro?
Man, I'm out here in these streets. Frank Holder, what's up, baby?
Nothing, man. Rodney Perry, what's your thought on President Biden meeting with Brittany Griner's family, trying to, smooth out the waters with the family? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, he definitely needs to explain himself why that young lady is not home yet. And this is the thing about Biden, and y'all got to give him credit, man. The dude has been legally asleep for the last 6 months. So he needs to let them know that, my bad, I was taking a nap, and I'm up, and I'm on it, baby.
There it is. My man, talent, man. I don't know if you got a chance to see the news, but Tampa Bay, we're going to have to go through this one real fast. Tampa Bay literally rolled out the first ever Latin American lineup for Roberto Clemente Day last night. Good, quick thoughts on that?
Mira.
That's how you feel about it?
Mira, se parece, ¿cómo está usted, Goya?
Okay.
Listen, it's great. It's good for the people, though.
There it is. Real quick, Fig, what's your thoughts on that?
Arroz con pollo.
Wow.
And a beer. And a beer.
Mr. Rodney Perry, you want to add that?
Hey, absolutely, man. I can't wait to respond to this one, man. Panocha is good.
Panocha is good. All right, in other news, man, let me just move this real fast. Canelo Alvarez is fighting Gennady Golovkin. They call that dude Triple G. It's one of the fights that I wanted to talk about a couple of days ago. It's happening Saturday. Man, people are saying it's a big boxing match happening Saturday, pay-per-view, in Las Vegas. A whole lot of dramas being held up around that. But here's the thing, man. People are saying that Canelo Alvarez is fighting this dude 4 years, 3-4 years too late. Expected it to be a big purse. What you think, T?
Well, that's what they do in boxing. It took me a while to catch up on the trick. That's one of the old boxing tricks. When whoever's responsible for the delay, we know when fight's supposed to happen, when they're supposed to happen, and when they get delayed, we know the person who's delaying it is trying to even the odds out, so to speak. Mayweather did it with Pacquiao. Tyson did it with Holyfield. A lot of people did Hagler and Sugar Ray. It goes back years that in the heat and the height, you always say, Frank, when you compare the players and go in the height of their career. So in the height, whoever's a little more scared than the others says, it's not right now. And they stretch it and they stretch it. It's like a bad court case, like the first R. Kelly case, 6 years. And then, we got a verdict on the R. Kelly thing. So it's like that in boxing. I think we need to find out why the delay, what camp was responsible for the delay, and you'll find out who was a little bit nervous. But hey, I'm all for a good fight. I'm in it.
I am too. But Fig looks like the dude known as Triple G. It couldn't wait to have this fight, but finally he might be outboxed. He might be outmatched. People are saying it's the fight of the year, so to speak. I don't know. What you thought?
It'll be good, man. I'm gonna watch it, Frank, but I feel bad for you because it's not in your market.
No. Even if it was, I wouldn't watch it. I'm not watching.
This is not going to be the fight of the year. The real fight of the year is going to be Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and that's happening in November. That is going to be the fight of the century because both of them boys is bad and they undefeated. But this fight is going to be very entertaining, man. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, Rodney Perry, you want to add on to that?
Hey, I completely agree with Fig. I was looking for his name. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. This is the fight of the year. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. And how about this? Terrence Crawford is a beast. I think Terrence Crawford gonna bite the man's head off.
But
he's the nicest, vicious killer walking free.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree to that. Definitely have to agree with that. Now, before we move any forward, I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs game last night. But before we jump into the game, I want to ask you, T, did you like the experience of watching it on Amazon Prime before I ask you about the game? I'm going to ask all y'all that. Did you like that experience? Because to me, it was clearer. Everything was dope. The only thing I didn't like, if I had to put one thing I didn't like the blonde chick who was doing the commentating. It like she was so monotone. But no, when they had they had the guys at halftime, I was like, this chick needs to pick it up. And she was so monotone. Like, that was the one thing I was like, she took everything away from me. But I liked everything about the game. I like the commentators. What you think, T? What'd you like?
I don't like it, Frank. It cost me more money this time.
Why? What happened? It wasn't in your market?
It was Amazon Prime. I ended up buying a washer and dryer set.
During the game?
Halftime. They had a sale at halftime, right? And normally you watch the game halftime, you got beer commercials, some entertainment. And not this time. They
You
came
bought a
and
major appliance.
they called it, you act now. I said, damn, where my credit card? I never spend money on Thursday night football. This is incredible.
Hey, while you playing, Calvin, I bought another movie. I was watching another movie.
Well, T, what do you think about the game? Was the game good to you? Was the game all that, and then some? What's your thoughts on
the game? Was excellent because I love when I just you get this strong feeling when you pick a team. See, it's different when you pick the whole week because there's a lot of choices. But when you get that one game and that 1-2 teams that you can really zero down with your football IQ on, and you put the money, I put the money on Kansas City, right? So I'm coming in from working a couple of podcasts. It's ending up the first half is winding down, and they're winning. They're winning by like 10, right? It's like 17, 7. So my guy who's with me, my assistant, he done bet the house on the Chargers. So I don't notice until we walk in the bar. He's looking at it's halftime. He's like, yeah, T, look, I'm looking good. And I look over, he don't know I got money the other way. I'm like, yeah, it's too early, though. He's like, I got money. I say, you know you're going to lose, right? Hell, look at this man. They rolling. Not even 5 minutes into the third quarter. Bomb, touchdown. Bomb, field goal. He was like, damn. I said, I tried to tell you. So that's when I text y'all. I text Franklin and said, all you Chargers lames ain't feeling good right now. So it was a great game for me. It was competitive. And you know what I like? Either way, no matter which way you bet, the other team didn't roll over.
Right.
The only thing in those primetime games, the only thing you hate is to see a team roll over. Like one team takes the lead and the other team just get depleted mentally, and it's not a game. This game was total opposite of that. The team that was down got hyped, came back up. The team that they lost the lead got hyped again, came back. They made it a game all the way to the end.
Yeah, Fig, I'll ask you this, man. I thought let me first ask you what your experience was like watching it on Prime. Then I'm gonna ask you about the game. What was your experience about watching it on Prime? Did you like that, or would you like T and watch something?
Frank, it was the journalist in you that noticed that the commentator, the female, she was monotone. She was deadpan. It was like she would. I was like, man, is a football game about to come on, or are we gonna watch golf? Because that's how low energy she was. I was like, what's going on here? But I didn't mind it being on Amazon Prime, man. I mean, in honor of the fact that it was in Amazon Prime, I went down in the basement, opened up a bin, and I pulled out one of them packages that my wife had ordered during the pandemic and opened it up to see what it was, man. Because I got one today.
So what do you think about the game? What do you think about the game?
The game was amazing, man. Listen, it was back and forth. It was nip and tuck. And the thing is that, like Talon said, it's the one game that you could watch last night and it went down to the wire. I actually thought the game was over when the Chargers quarterback got that I think he actually cracked his ribs. When he went down and he went out, I didn't think he was coming back in, man. He came out, man. It was one play where he could have ran for the first down. There was nobody within 5 to 10 yards of him, and he just threw the ball out of bounds. I was like, this kid is done. He comes around in the very next play and throws a laser touchdown. I was like, yo, this kid is like a cyborg. You know what I mean? I hope he's good for the rest of the season.
That kid is the truth. I don't care. I've been telling y'all for 2 years. Absolutely. That kid's the truth. Rodney Perry, first of all, what was your experience about watching the game on Amazon Prime? Did you enjoy that?
You know what? I like Amazon Prime. I got a chance. I was just kind of eyeballing the game because I was doing some other stuff. But man, I'm opposite of y'all because we've been watching these guys cover these games for so many years, and they always tend to lean one way or lean the other way. This lady was completely unbiased. She was like in the middle of the field, and she just called the game. I'm not mad at that. And as far as the look of the game, I don't know if we watching the game in 10K or 11K, but it was. I'm like, what? How come I don't get everything this clear?
Yes.
And so, but on a completely different note, when I watch certain films on my phone, I get a similar look as well. But sometimes I have lotion on my screen. But anyway, totally enjoyed the game, man. Kansas City is 2-0, but not no big 2-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they were right there. We go from 5 touchdowns to 2. This is a big deficit. The defense of the Chargers came out and played, and it was a tough game all the way through. Well done, Chargers. Look for them to come back in the near future and put some foot in some air.
I'm gonna just say this. I don't even know if talent who picked the Chiefs to notice this. That was the most the Kansas City Chiefs punted in Patrick Mahomes' career since he played.
Yes.
They never punted that many times. And I don't think
hold on, Frank. And Rodney's take was brought to you by Jergens Lotion.
All right, let's keep it moving, my man T. I don't know if you noticed this neither time, but the WNBA Finals had an update, man. Phoenix came back real fast. They came back, and let's see, here we go. Alyssa Thomas notched her first triple-double in WNBA Finals history as the Sun amped up their offense. And what they did, they were able to stave off elimination 105-76 over the Las Vegas Aces, who was trying to win the series at Mohegan Sun and Connecticut. So what's your take on the ladies being able to stave off elimination? Because literally, man, at least the Thomas.
Yeah, but if I'm correct, the next game is at home for those girls. And winning it at home is a bigger hoopla if you can. Because who don't want their own fanfare? Right. I mean, the NBA, I understand. The NBA got to a point where they got to take it as they get it, because it's so scary. You can't risk it. But WNBA, right now, they still the kids in the league. So who don't want their own home fan feel or whatever. I think that the fanfare is going to happen. I think that I love, competition, though. So that's a good thing. But now the greater thing is if you can go back home, close it out, and get the fanfare that you really want. But those girls are balling, Frank.
Yeah, they are. I'm loving WNBA. What's happening right now? What you say?
Yo, man, I thought it was amazing. I told y'all yesterday, don't you sleep on Connecticut. I tell you,
Here we go.
I said, don't sleep on them. I said, do not sleep on the Connecticut Sun. I said, when we get home and we get some of that home cooking, there's collard greens all over Connecticut. There's cornbread. There's yams. There's fatback. There's solid fatback with one streak of lean all over Connecticut. Them girls,
and here's the word.
They step in their own bed. They got some home cooking. And they was like, we ain't going out like no punks. We going to win this game. And they turned it on, man. They got the job done, man. Congratulations to Connecticut Sun, baby.
What's your thoughts on the ladies being able to extend the WNBA Finals? What's your thoughts?
Man, at the end of the day, it's a great thing for female sports. When we get to see that these ladies compete on such a high level, and they really did their thing. They came out there ready to play, ready to not go home, and they did that. Now we got to see if they can hold on and do it again. But I think it's a good thing, and it's good for like all our daughters in sports, man. This is a great deal. I was thinking about the other day is how do they play so long? Because they play long. They have long careers. How do you play so long as a woman, man? And I wish those girls on the like that young lady that came to the show in New York. I mean, she can take a deal with it. You know what? I'm not gonna stop talking.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. See, the Phoenix Suns minority owner Sham Najaviv calls for the Robert Sarver's resignation. Vice chairman and minority owner of the Phoenix Suns, Shane Garvin, acted as interim governor during Robert Sarver's suspension. Do you think that the NBA should move forward and try to continue down this path to get Robert Sarver's resignation because of what's going on with the NBA and Robert Sarver? Because all the stuff that's going on and stuff.
Yeah, he gotta go. He gotta go. First of all, Rodney crazy.
I know, right?
Rodney said, "I want to know how they last so long." It's easy. Let's jump it. It's 99.9% less dunking. But yeah, Frank, I think it's time. You know why? Because, and I said this. I think I said it yesterday. I said more and more stuff was going to start to come out, like detail, leak stuff, because we were getting the surface. So now it's not just the little comments to the ladies working in the company. Now you're gonna say, I don't know if y'all seen this. He said, these niggas need a nigga to lead them, meaning the coach, meaning these black players need a black coach, but he put it in the terminology of, yeah, we need a nigga to lead these niggas.
Wow.
Now, at that point, Frank, I think he trumped, if this was poker, I think he beat out Sterling with his niggas. Sterling niggas actually was complimentary. You want to hang out with those dope ass niggas. This dude said, we need a nigga to lead these niggas. Now, that is where most niggas draw the line.
Is that right?
Think about it. You can't just call me a nigga and then you're going to bring in a nigga to lead me, nigga? That's what you say, nigga, please. But real talk, I think, Frank, when that came out, because now they said a lot of pressure's on Chris Paul. Because, players union, it's right there in your home, right there where you work and play. And you said something to the extent, and then this comes out. Now people are expecting more. So let's, to be seen, bro. But I think so. I think it's time to just resign.
I think so too.
I trade the team. Go get a hockey team where you get away with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Fig. LeBron James and Chris Paul came out and said something. Some Phoenix Suns players, actually no Phoenix Suns players have really come out and said too much of anything, except for Chris Paul said something, but we're waiting for a couple other players to say some stuff. There's not a lot of hoopla now. A lot of players are not saying anything. What's your take on this, bro?
They may be saying it, but we're not hearing it. I'm waiting for Monty Williams to say something. Talent is absolutely right. Sterling was complimentary of his ninjas. He said, I love my ninjas. He said, I pay them, I feed them, I make them rich. He said, these are my ninjas and I love them. This other thing here, you need a ninja to lead a ninja. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's like the head ninja in charge. I don't like the way that sounds. I love the fact that LeBron James came out and he's taking the lead on this. Chris Paul is out there too. But I really am concerned with the silence of these other players that are all black men. I want to know where they are. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just be LeBron James, Chris Paul. I want to hear from Monty Williams. He's the coach of that team. He's the ninja that got hired to lead these other ninjas. I want to hear from Monty. And I want to hear from all of these other players that are in the NBA. I want to hear from them too. Why not? Why aren't we not hearing from them? Why? Your silence is very loud.
It's easy, Frank. He's the nigga. He got the job. You're not hear from me.
Rodney Perry, what's your take on this, man? They got a point. There's a lot of people who are awfully quiet on this, situation, man. What's your take on this, Rodney Perry?
Man, I mean, first of all, Donald Sterling has already set a precedence here. So the man will be removed. But, I mean, here goes. When you use these words, these terms, don't be surprised when you find out people that don't look like you also use those terms. Like, you can't live here in a world full of niggas and nigga this and nigga that and not expect people to use those words. It's and to me, it's unacceptable. I try not to use the words in mixed company, but at the same time, we as black people have to take some onus on, especially a professional athlete, using those words and then looking crazy when people that's supposed to be on a higher level use those words.
No.
I mean, you disagree?
Yeah, man. Listen. I can say and do things to my wife that other people can't do. We're in a certain group. It's us. We talk about us to us. White people don't get to do that. I'm sorry, man. Listen. It's their world. They own a lot of stuff. They get to do a lot of stuff. They have a lot of privilege, but that's the one thing that they can't do and they can't handle it. It's the one word that they can't say. and they can't handle it. They got everything else. You got all the houses, all the businesses, all the industry. You got you run everything. The one word that you can't have is the N word, nigga. You can't say that, and they losing their mind because you can't say that word. You can't say it. It's insensitive.
Well, both of y'all are right. Let me say this real quick.
You can't have that.
Both of you guys have a great point and a valid point. The only discrepancy that add in the caveat to Rodney's point is, Rodney, you're absolutely right in a personal world, but this is the workplace.
Right.
He's got caught doing this in the workplace amongst people in the corporation, in the organization. That, to me, right there, that's open and shut case right there. Now, if somebody caught you out having a good time, hanging with your nigga friends, and then you slipped a couple of niggas in and all that, okay, yeah, you hanging around them, they're using it freely, but we're black, and we may say the N-word like we are now, but I can't go to the workplace and throw it around like that. Like, if I go into a job, like go into my little barista job and stuff, what's up, niggas? Come in the back. Come in the back.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. They're gonna tell you right there.
Right.
Don't do that over the lattes.
Right.
I mean, you guys make valid points, but just looking at the other side of it, and I'm in no way exonerating this dude. I think he should be kicked out on his buttocks, in his buttocks. But at the same time, I just don't believe you get to just fully throw the word around and expect people not to, And there's a couple of different schools of thought in terms of abolishing the word altogether. Are you guys for that?
Not at all.
No, I don't want to abolish the word.
You know what? It was a word that was meant to diminish and to poison us as a people, to push us down and to keep us as a permanent underclass. We took it and flipped it. Listen, we did the same thing with soul food. They gave us the worst part of the worst scraps. The collard greens is some of the hardest green to cook. It's tough, it's hard. And we've taken the worst that this country has given us and turned it around and made it a delicacy. And we did the exact same thing with that word. We made it a term of endearment, and we took some of the poison out of it. So no, we can't get rid of it.
I see young comics, Fig and Tal. I see young comics using the word very freely. They call white folks niggas, black folks Mexican niggas. They use the word very freely. As a person that's 52 years old, I use that word way more sparingly. All right.
We can talk about that all day. Let's keep the show going on. That's a whole nother topic. Let's keep it going on. T, let me start out with you with this, Ben, and let me just throw this out there. I gave you all this question, and I want to see what you all are going to say, because this is a very, very hot topic to me, and I want to make sure that you all resonated. And I'm really interested. I don't even know if Rodney, you got a chance to answer this, Rodney. So I'm not going to throw Rodney out first, but who are the best top 5 father-son duo in any sport? You could pick father-son duo in any sport. Give me your top 5 and tell me who your top 5 is. I'm really interested to see that. Rodney, you got your top 5 ready?
Just off the top of my head, maybe.
All right. I'll let you. I give you. Go ahead, T. You give me your top 5.
Frank, I did you one better. I gave you a top 5 of that and a top 5 worse. All right, so top 5 best, father-son duos. I like the Griffin Jr. and Senior. You know what I mean? Both of them dope, and that's a great father-son duo in a Major League Baseball. Also, Vladimir. I forget the last name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In baseball, that's a father-son duo. Yeah.
Guerrero.
Muhammad Ali and Layla Ali. Not even a son, but a dope daughter to follow up her father's.
You trying to get the bells of the day. You trying to get the clap for that one. Okay, I see you.
Then we got to go to I don't even know if it's the best or the worst, but Joe Frazier and Mavis.
Marvis. Yes.
But last but not least, we got to put in there as the greatest of all time. I think the Mannings are going to go down.
Wow.
Archie Manning. Yes. That's a 3-piece right there. That's a bonus, son.
Yeah.
You got Peyton. You know what I mean? You got Eli. You got Archie Manning. Top 5. Honorable mentions.
That might be a
no honorable mentions, man. You got to save something for the rest of us.
No. This for the worst.
No, that might be the Mannings might be a different one because of I think it's Archie Manning's son is supposed to be the top 5, one of the best quarterbacks coming out of high school right now, getting ready to go to college too.
Right,
So
they got 3. Right.
Yeah,
damn. See what I'm saying? That's a quadruple effect right there. I'll tell you who the worst is, Greg Anthony.
So
And his son putting on them Timbs and that dunk.
Yeah, that was horrible. All right, Fig, give me your top 5 best father-son duo in any sport.
Hey man, I gotta go with my team first. You know what I mean? The number 1 team that I picked. I gotta go with Dell and Steph, the Currys. You know what I mean? Dell was a sharpshooter. Curry was a sharpshooter, man, or is a sharpshooter, man. You know what I mean? So definitely them. Then his partner, Michael Thompson and Clay Thompson. So I got those 2 men as father-son duos. Here's one, man. Let me throw a curve out there. I got Roger and Floyd Mayweather. Roger was a bad boy. I mean, he got beat by one of the best that ever did it, Sugar Ray Leonard. But before that, Roger Mayweather was a bad boy. And we know that Floyd is undefeated. So that's 3. I got the Sabonis family, Arvydas and Domantas, basketball brothers. And last but not least, I got to go to baseball, man. I'm going to go with Bobby and Barry Bonds.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was one of mine. Rodney Perry, you got 5? You ready to jump into this?
Of course, man. Always put this young man on our list. You know, despite what talent says, it makes me no different. And I'm on record with this many different times. Carrying maybe some of the best seamen in the league.
There we go.
LeBron James. We haven't seen his son come into fruition just yet, but he will be an all-star. He will be a superstar. And he may have.
Know this.
I already said it. We already said it. And it's there. I do acknowledge Steph and Dale Curry, even though Dale was just okay. And I do acknowledge Klay Thompson's daddy, Mike, with an M-Y, which I rarely deal with people with a Y in their name, but he is a champion. He had a championship with the Lakers. Man love, man respect on that. George Foreman and all of them Georges. You know, he had some daughters named George. He had some sons named. He had so many Georges. Somebody had to be successful in something.
And the grill, Rodney. Don't forget the grill.
One of them is working on a little tiny grill. Scottie Pippen's son, the junior, is balling.
Yeah, he is.
You know, man love, man respect. I think that's 5. And there has to be more.
No, those all y'all did a good 5. Next week, Monday,
I want to also acknowledge my son, who is he was a top notch on the cell block and keeping dudes up off.
So next week, I'm going to throw out there worst father-son duo like Kelly, like Jelly Bean and Kobe. You know what I mean? Because you know how you have one player who didn't play really good at all, but his son was phenomenal. I think
his semen was phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You made a Kobe.
Monday, we're gonna have to do that because right now I think Kobe and his dad lead that race right now with father son as the worst. Because
I'm not saying nothing bad about Kobe posthumous.
No, Kobe was a beast, but his father.
Well, if we go the worst one, we got to bring in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, the worst one is Michael Jordan, his son.
Kareem is. I guarantee you, nobody's worse.
Now,
than
listen.
Kareem.
If we gonna really say something about
I'm not coming Monday.
If we really gonna say something about sons and fathers, we gotta talk about Dwayne Wade.
No, but
wow, that's what we're doing. Imagine.
Kareem father is Elijah Muhammad. Let me tell you something. He averaged 2 points over 10 years.
Oh God.
All right, since we're throwing out questions, right? Let me ask you the other question I wanted to ask you. We're going to switch to the NBA real fast because the time is moving fast. So, T, what are your 5 biggest questions that you have that you want to see answers to coming into the NBA season? What's your 5 biggest? And before you get, I'm gonna throw out my 5 if you don't.
No.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna throw out my 5.
Go ahead.
My 5 are: will all things in Brooklyn shake out? Number 1. Will Rudy Gobert make a difference in Minnesota?
Oh man, that's why you shouldn't do your 5.
Excuse me. Can John Morant take the Memphis Grizzlies to the Western Conference Finals? Number 4, what's next for Russell Westbrook? And number 5, are the Warriors youngsters ready to step up this season? That's my 5. I get tired of everybody doing their 5 and they taking mine, so I decided I'm gonna take y'all.
You know what? That was very petty.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't.
Just so you know.
Give me your 5. What's your 5?
Okay, so the first 2 are easy. First 2 are: will the Lakers make the playoffs this year? Will they bounce back and become who they are, go back to the playoffs? Will the Knicks not only make the playoffs, but are they done acquiring players for the year? You know what I mean? Or did they make all the moves they're going to make, or is there a hidden big move that's still going to happen for the Knicks? Number 3.
That's a good one.
Does Donovan Mitchell go to Cleveland and move the needle for Cleveland? Does it make a difference? Or is this going to pan out the way the owners, Danny Ainge in Utah, wanted it to be and become a purgatory for him? Or will he move the needle over there? That's a big question. Number 4, what's your guy's name that went down with the big injury in Denver? He was the leading guy in Denver. Light-skinned dude.
Gordon Hayward?
Murray.
Yeah.
Will Murray bounce back and have the season we saw 2 years ago? And last but not least,
that's a good question.
Does Miami do the same thing they did this year again, except get over them?
Those are good 5. I like those 5. My man Fig, give me your 5 burning questions coming up into the upcoming NBA season.
Hey, Frank, your 5 is like the teacher giving a test and then answering the questions.
Don't get it.
My 5 is, will the refs finally ignore flopping in the NBA? Can we get rid of the flopping and they swallow the whistle? But I'm just saying, I'm like, they got rid of the swing through. They got rid of that as a foul and then a 3-point. So I want to know, will they do something about that flopping? Will James Harden come back close to his former self when he was actually in Houston? Mm-hmm. And the same one that Talon said, I wanted to know, would Rudy Gobert make a major difference and make Minnesota a viable contender in the West? Because they got him, Big Cat, and Edwards over there. Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland too. I wanted to know whether Donovan Mitchell would move the needle with Cleveland and move them up in the rankings in the East. And last but not least, can the Golden State Warriors repeat with a healthy Klay Thompson and having their big center back off of injury, Weissman?
Those are good 5 questions. Actually, we got 15 good questions so far. Rodney Perry, I know you're going to keep it going, Rodney. What's your 5 biggest burning questions coming up into the NBA this upcoming season?
I don't know if these questions are burning, but let's ask them anyway. Will Zion Williamson get fries with whatever he eats?
That's fire.
That's fire right there.
We know he's not gonna eat. Will he get the fries? On the same, Brandon Ingram, man, shows signs of incredible playing last year. Will he stay on that track and lead these Pelicans into the playoffs? That's what I would like to know. I think Fig brought this up, but the what we saw with the refereeing really affected people like James Harden. Will they ease up? Will the refs ease up to allow cats like James Harden to get back to the free throw line. His game, he didn't fail to make shots. He failed to make free throws. So I would definitely like to see if the NBA, allows those fouls again, going in the future. Also, Magic Johnson's son, man, will he walk the runway of New York City? I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And if he doesn't, he definitely deserves to. And finally, man, will Jamie Foxx play Mike Tyson? Yes or no?
Yeah, he is.
I mean, will we see the film this year?
Yeah, that's a good one. Will we see that film?
They've been talking about it for 17 years. It's crazy.
They have been. They haven't talked about it for a long time. All right, I wanted to jump back into the NFL real quick because a couple of things popped up on the screen while we was doing this, man. And I'm gonna throw this out there to you. Ask you this first, T. I saw a flashcard screen while we were doing the show that Dallas Cowboys in talks have interest. It says their interest in having conversations about Cam Newton coming in for the next 3 or 4 weeks for Dak Prescott with the Dallas Cowboys. You think Dallas Cowboys would do that? Should do that? Should Dallas Cowboys get Cam Newton?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's because even a bad Cam Newton is better than where they're sitting right now. Even if you ain't got him on his A game and you get a B- or something, you're still gonna be sitting pretty. Because now, whenever something like that happens, and I'm not saying he's gonna come in and be bad. He may come in and be a good Cam, but if he comes in and be less than good Cam, you put your emphasis and focus and powers on your defense. Because we know in the NFL, you can survive with a super good defense and a mediocre offense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't survive the other way around. The other way around, you're just throwing, point for point and hoping to end up with the clock on your side. But if you have a good defense, you can sustain enough for your mediocre or all right offense to win some games.
That's actually not a bad point at all because their defense is not bad. Fig, do you think Dallas Cowboys should get Cam Newton?
I think Cam Newton is a load to bring down if he starts to get on the run.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's nobody open, other teams' defense is gonna have to scheme for what Cam Newton can bring, and then occasionally he will throw a decent pass to an open receiver. So I think that's a better option than some of the players that they have. And to be honest with you, they're only gonna need him for maybe about 4 to maybe 5 games, and then you get Dak back. How can a player hurt you? A player like Cam Newton, how can he hurt you for 4 to 5 weeks? I think you should get him.
I think so too. I don't know what happened to Rodney, so let me keep it moving on with UT, and let me take this out right here. All right, T, the question I got for you is: San Francisco's playing Seattle this week. If San Francisco beats Seattle, then Trey Lance looks like he should be all right. But let's say they lose. How many weeks do you think? We asked this question earlier this week, but because there's been so much pressure during the week on this Jimmy G, Trey Lance situation and everything else, and people are literally screaming for them to do something. How many weeks does Trey Lance have? If he loses this week versus Seattle, is he out?
I think so. In a generous world, in a generous quarterback world, he'll get 3. But I don't think they're going to be generous. I think because you are only you act accordingly to your expectations. I think San Fran expected to be 2-0 right now. And if they go 0-2, I think that moves the needle and go, you know what, let's try something different real quick. Because let's face it, you only got a 17-game season, bro. And we're always 2-3 games away from not being able to turn it around. And here we are 0-2. I'm just saying, if it happens, hypothetically, if you go 0-2, I think they get desperate and say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on with us? We expect it to be blah, blah, blah. And we were, you know what, let's pull the trigger. That's why we gave this guy a little extension and a few dollars. Jimmy G, what you got?
Jimmy G, what you got? That's the question. Jimmy G, what you got? Fig, Jimmy G, what you got is the question. If Trey Lance loses this week to Seattle, do you think San Fran moves on from him? and puts Jimmy G in, or do you think that they get rid of the whole situation and say, let's just trade Jimmy G now while we still can? What do you think they do?
It's the Tootsie Roll Pop test. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Terrible.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. The first game shouldn't even count. You put a rookie quarterback that ain't played in 3 years in a monsoon. It was a monsoon. They were water skiing. I'm telling you, there was somebody out there with a boogie board and he was skiing on the damn field. How you count that game against Trey Lance? That's horrible. You got to get this kid a shot. I think he gets at the very least, at least 2 more games to see if this kid got anything. Or else somebody other than Trey. Trey Lance may be set down, but somebody going to be fired because they moved up to get this kid.
Yeah, you know what, though? The problem is they are counting that game because the games count. They don't care about whether or not the weather is good or bad. They're going to count the games. Like, the games count. So, speaking of games counting, Josh Allen came out and he said that he's concerned about the hits he's getting and the livelihood and the longevity of his career. He compared himself to Cam Newton. He was like, he could, out of his own mouth, he said, I don't want to be in that, in a situation where I'm along the lines of getting hit a lot and my career's not long. Do you think he should be concerned about the hits he's getting, T?
No. This is football. This is football. If I played football and I never got hit, I go to the front office and find out what's going on. What's wrong? What are you doing here? I'm never getting hit. You should be happy. No, it's football. You figure that out. That's the part that's why it's the game. Like, you got to figure out how I'm getting hit, why I'm getting hit. What are those adjustments to make to dumb down on it? You don't just say, I'm getting hit and try to bow out or point fingers and blame. You know exactly why you're getting hit. You're looking right at the whole damn line and where it's coming from. So that's what huddles are about. That's what timeouts are about. Hey, right side, what's up over there, man? Hold your guy. Your guy's beating you off the snap. That's football, Frank. Hit is part of the game, but hey, if I'm on offense, I'm going to get hit less, right? So I got to figure that out. Why am I getting hit? Plug those holes. You hear me talk about it all the time. I always say plug them holes because that's what football is. If somebody's getting to you, he's getting through a hole. Somebody's not blocking right.
Yeah, somebody's not blocking, but Fig, Josh Allen is the quarterback. He wants to play for 20 years. What's your take, man? Should he be concerned about the hits he's getting?
Frank, you know what was funny to me when you was talking about he was concerned about his hits. I didn't know whether you talking about social media or he dropped a rap album.
Mm-hmm.
He talking about hits. Stop running. He running the ball like he damn Cam Newton. Stop running the damn ball. If you don't want to get hit, throw the ball out of bounds like Aaron Rodgers does. Why you taking off running and running into players? Isn't Josh Allen the one dude who stiff-armed the dude and threw him down in the grass? And you wondering why you getting hit? Because you're taking off running like you're a running back. Stop running the damn ball. Throw it out of bounds. And then you won't have to worry about getting hit. How about that, Josh? The ball is in your hand. Do something with it.
I can't disagree with that one at all. Rodney Perry, Josh Allen came out and said when he got interviewed that he compared himself to Cam Newton. So he said he wants to play for 15, 20 years, but he's concerned about the hits he's getting and how physical the game is for his position. He came out and said he's concerned about that. Do you think he should be concerned about the hits he's getting, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, here goes, guys, and black quarterbacks have been saying this for a long time. And look for quarterbacks to get some relief. Now that a Caucasian quarterback has said it's starting to be mobile, it's starting to be faster, then we're going to see them protect the quarterback more. This is going to be a good thing for black quarterbacks, guys, because nobody ever listened to black guys. Nobody listened to Cam Newton. Nobody listened to these quarterbacks. They were just dumb. They were just guys that need to, like Fig say, stay still. How dare you be athletic?
Right. So with that being said, what y'all got going on this weekend, man? I got to get ready to roll up out of here. I got to jump a little bit early because I got a call I got to make. But Talent, what you got going on this weekend, bro? Talk to me. What you got going on? Talent, you on mute.
You're on mute.
My bad. I'm heading to my after work Friday tonight up in White Plains at the Coliseum. This is part 3. We do it every month. Live band, live comedy, live DJ. Fine, sophisticated place. People come in there. I don't care what you got on. You got a tuxedo, you feel underdressed. The place is just sexy like that. Tomorrow I got a fundraiser for cancer. Shout out to my people in the Boogie Down Bronx at the Eastwood Manor. We're going to be raising a lot of money to go towards fighting cancer and more importantly, bringing awareness to things like breast cancer. Next month is that whole month's dedicated to breast cancer awareness. So that's my weekend right there. Shooting out to Philly Sunday to be with one of my workers and teams, Robin Hood Entertainment, Michelle Wilson's birthday. So she has a little birthday brunch thing. I got take appearance there. So busy weekend, man. Getting ready. I'm just really getting ready for next week. That's what I do. Each week, I'm getting ready for next week.
That's how you. That's how you're supposed to do. And let's not forget that man right there in the bottom square is coming up to Boston December 4th. I'm looking forward to that, man. Brown Sugar Sundays. Looking forward to that. Fig, what you got going on this weekend, bro?
Talent getting ready for next week, and this week was next week, last week, and last week was this week, next week. So you got to get ready for the week. Listen, man. I got the grandson this weekend, so I'm gonna be tired on Monday. Because that boy got a lot of energy, and he gonna be running around. And I'm gonna try and see what I can do to hide my wife's Amazon card so she don't buy up everything and spend up all our life savings. So I'm gonna be busy this weekend.
I understand the feeling. Rodney Perry, what you got going on this weekend, bro?
This is my birthday weekend. My actual birthday was yesterday. I was on the set of Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon, and had a great time out there at the Atlanta Comedy Theater this weekend. 4 shows, 2 tonight, 2 tomorrow. Getting ready to go up to the radio and do some more press for the weekend. Always a pleasure to see y'all, man. And I apologize for taking a couple of minutes off the show. I had to boo-boo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rodney.
Thank you, guys.
That was a birthday, boo-boo?
Hey,
Talent.
And I'm Winnie the Pooh right now.
Hey, Talent. A little chocolate cake could do you.
Yo, y'all watching the shows called Box Seats. It's on Humor Mill. It's going to be repeated tonight at 7 and 11 on social media. It's also going to be on the Humor Mill channel at 4 o'clock, fully edited without all those N-words out. I hope, I pray I can get it done by that time. Anyway, we'll be back Monday. We got a couple of interviews lined up next week. We're going to talk to some people, maybe some WNBA people. We'll see. We'll see what happens and everything else. Anyway, the channel is called Humor Mill. The show's called Box Seats. We'll see y'all. It's Friday. Y'all be safe. It's a weekend too. Definitely have fun. One of the last weekends. We'll see y'all. Peace.
My man.